There's a character-specific technique in Melee that's so unique among its cast, no, among all Smash games, that even in the context of the weirdest, most peculiar game in the entire series, you might wonder, how does this even exist? It has no official documentation or name, so maybe you've heard of it by its unofficial one, the extender. Here's the method for activating the extender. First, play as Samus on the NTSC version of the game. Then, within a certain frame window of Samus's grab, which varies based on the type of grab Samus is doing, perform the inputs up, down, and up again on the D-pad. Then, press Z. If you've done it correctly, Samus's grab will now be roughly 3 times the length it is normally. Plus, despite its massive increase in range, the move will still only last as long as a normal grab from Samus would. And it gets even cooler. By pressing and holding L at the same time you grab, Samus's grapple will home in on her closest opponent. You'll notice, however, that her grab now just passes through opponents without actually grabbing them. That's because with the extender active, Samus's grab doesn't automatically grab whatever the end of it comes into contact with, like her normal grab. Instead, you now have to time when the end of her beam touches an opponent and activate one of the 3 new extender exclusive grab hitboxes by pressing A or Z. Sounds like a sweet deal, huh? Massively increased length and homing capabilities with no extra lag? Hell yeah. There are a few downsides though. For one, Samus can't grab airborne opponents with the extender active, which is something she can do with her normal grab. Another downside is that grabbing an opponent through a platform requires either a frame-perfect input of forward, up, or back throw as your beam first attaches to the opponent, or a buffered down throw, which is much easier because you can just hold C-stick down. And finally, the only way to get Samus's normal grab back is by losing a stock. Regardless, this tech opens the door for a lot of interesting situations in style with Samus, and it very frequently catches other players off guard when used.
Jesus Christ! Happening? What the fuck? Oh my God. That was so fucking cool.
So, what even is it? A glitch? An Easter egg? A quirk of the physics engine like wave dashing? Or something else entirely? Let's narrow it down. First, we'll start off by scratching glitch and quirk of the engine off the list. The inputs to perform the extender are just too precise and deliberate to not be put in the game on purpose. I mean, come on. Glitches aren't caused by inputting codes with your controller's D-pad, and a glitch would definitely have nothing to do with down on the D-pad in Melee, because it does absolutely nothing during normal play. How would it even affect anything to cause a glitch to occur? Maybe it's an Easter egg then. Something put in the game to reward a keen player who messes around and experiments. After all, you do activate the Star Fox Easter eggs by pressing down on the D-pad for 1 frame on Corneria or Venom. So why not a string of inputs with the D-pad and Z button?
Wait right there, Anchor. All ships report.
Well, most of the other Easter eggs in Melee are just hidden objects or text, reflections and trophies or hidden dialogue.
Behind you, Fox. Stay alert.
Just nods to the player as if to say, hey, good job finding me. None of them can be actively used against other players like a grab that's suddenly changed to be 3 times its normal size and behave completely differently. And perhaps the most important evidence, if it were an Easter egg, what reason would HAL have to remove it from the updated European release of Melee? So it's something else then. In my opinion, the best and most likely theory is that the code you input to activate the extender, up down up Z, is a code the developers used for testing and was left in the NTSC versions of the game on accident. Forgotten. The developers would enter the code and fiddle around with Samus's extended grab to see if it was working like they wanted it to, and tweak it if it wasn't. Maybe the extender is more akin to what they wanted Samus's grab to be like in the final game, but they didn't have enough time to finish and fine-tune it, or just didn't like it enough to move forward with it in development, so they kept the grab we know currently. It's one of the many things about the game that we'll probably just never know for sure. One thing's certain though, the code's still in the NTSC versions of the game, and it's fucking rad.
Extender? I didn't get it. Alright, I got it. It's over for him.
What's up? Man, sure is dark and empty here. I guess while we're stuck in the endless, foreboding cosmic void, I can ask you to check out one of my other videos. Or maybe subscribe?